now.
I know, here too. It was 100 degrees here today. Like,
ew,
and humid.
Gross.
Yeah, it's humid.
Isaiah, where are you from?
Brooklyn, New York.
Are you there right now?
Yeah.
Nice. When do you go back to Pittsburgh?
I'm supposed to go back on the 20th, but I might go back on the 17th because I got asked to do some signatures with jerseys with Deontay Johnson,
Nice.
Eric Ebram, and somebody else, I think, on the defense.
Mhm.
And the
Oh,
dude
nice.
that is holding everything, he asked me to do it. So I'm probably most likely gonna go back probably on like the 16th or the 17th to do that event.
Cool.
Sweet.
That's coming up
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about
God.
to be the end of June already.
Can't believe it.
It's
Cannot believe
crazy.
it.
Training camp coming up. Like,
Mhm.
that's nuts. It sucks. Everything going down with that. But Jordan, I'll let you start the
Yeah.
episode. We can talk about it later.
It's all good. Yeah, we will definitely get into it. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Yinzhers. It feels like it's been about a decade since we've been here, but this is episode 14, officially brought to you by Infinity Trades X. I'm here, Jordan, with my co-hosts Morgan and Sam. How is everybody?
Great. All
Great.
right.
Awesome.
Great, I'm
Killing
good.
it.
I'm good.
Yeah, we have Isaiah McKoy here, rookie out of Kent State, wide receiver. Thank you so much for hopping on here and talking with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. So everybody having a good week? How's it going?
It is hot as hell. I've been in the batting cages every single day. For those of you who have not seen, we're inviting everyone, open invitation. July 17th, there is a celebrity softball game. It's the Three Rivers celebrity softball game put on by the Washington Wild Things. And it's benefiting the Hayward House. And there are a ton of people playing in this game. I am the only girl. I'm almost the only non-athlete. I think there's 4 others who are not professional athletes. My boyfriend plays baseball, so there's my leg up. That's my X factor. So yeah, Najee Harris, Pat Fryermuth, Cam Hayward, who else? Terrell Edmonds.
So many people.
So
Tyson
many
playing
people.
too. Yeah, like every day there's another.
Tyson Alualu.
Yep.
Every single day they're announcing new players. So y'all, please come out, support the Hayward House. It's going to be an awesome event, and we are so excited. So yeah, batting cages every single day. That's what I've been doing.
Good. Gotta win. Gotta bring home the W.
Good, Jordan. You're holding me accountable here.
That's right. Man, oh man. But yeah, Isaiah, it's really good to have you here. How has your Pittsburgh experience been so far? You said you're from Brooklyn, so is it? I would imagine it's pretty different in Pittsburgh than it is in New York.
Yeah, it's pretty different. Pittsburgh really gives me Philly vibes, to be honest. You know, I got a couple cousins that.
What?
Yeah, it kind of
no.
does. It doesn't, but it does. Like, that's the only thing that I could like relate to it about.
Okay.
I got a couple cousins that's from Philadelphia, so going to Pittsburgh, everything kind of looks the same as Philadelphia. So that's the only thing that I could say. But Pittsburgh definitely gives me like how could I say, like a big city with a small town vibe. Like it feels like everybody knows everybody, or everybody knows the spots around, and everybody grew up around each other. So that's the type of feeling I got when I first got.
Yep. Sorry about that. That's awesome. I'm so glad, except for comparing it to Philly, because that's not great, but it's all good. We're glad to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So Kent State, we love our Kent State players. Obviously, one of my favorite Steelers of all time went to Kent State. Tell us about your experience there. What was Kent State like?
Kent State was good for me. When I first got there, I think the year before I signed and stuff, when I was like the beginning of my senior year of high school, figured out that they was in a little slump, with all of their production, for their football players going into the league and, for their collegiate records and stuff. So when I first got there and signed, it was a lot of objectives I had on my hand as a freshman, to handle, starting as a true freshman and, finishing as a true junior, coming out early, only playing 4 games last season. So, since I've been there, I feel like I made a huge impact for, the Flashers community in Canton, Ohio, period.
And who was your team before now? Because obviously it's the Steelers now, but like growing up, who was your football team?
Oh man, I'm a Giants fan. You know, I'm from New York, so there's always a
Of
diehard
course.
Giants fan.
Mhm.
But
Do
now
you
that's
hate the
changed.
Jets?
I'm a Steelers fan now.
You better be.
Yeah, I am diehard.
And what was your impression of the Steelers before you got to Pittsburgh, before you got around the team? Like, what was your impression of this organization?
That's a great question. For all of us, all our rookies, right before we were watching, the NFL, on our couches last year. Now we get to be in and next to, some of the legends in the league. I always knew the Steelers were a great organization. They was a hard working organization. They were an organization that always had, you know, dignity in how they play the game. The hard defense that we've been for many years, from Troy Pollard, even Cameron Hayward right now, and Minka Fitzpatrick, those are like, from beginning to the end, top dogs that's been there, people on offense like, Antonio Brown right now, Ben Roethlisberger, he's still going, who else? Le'Veon Bell, he's not with them no more, but, it's a lot of, memories that, the Steelers organization has. And all of that is really under Mike Tomlin also, getting to meet him, he doesn't sugarcoat anything, for the TV, for the NFL, what you see on TV about him and about how he carries his organization day in and day out is, what you see on camera is what you see in real life. And in my eyes right now.
I love it. He speaks in like the most cryptic terms ever. Like
Right.
but not like, it's like he never wants to give away too much, but he's like always stating the most obvious things ever.
Of course.
That's what I love about him. He doesn't bullshit. He just, he's going to shoot it to you straight, but it's always in cryptic terms. Always.
Right.
He has his like Tomlinisms,
Oh,
but
yeah.
we're big Tomlin fans for sure.
Mhm.
So love to hear you say that.
Mhm.
So speaking of the Steelers and the organization, how have OTAs been in the mini camp and all of that?
First day at OTAs and, just being out there on the field, first of all, it was a blessing to step out there, to be, there with a lot of greats and stuff. For me personally, I just was just a sponge for the whole time being, just taking everything in, getting in my playbook, staying in my playbook all day, talking with Roethlisberger, Haskins, Dobbs, Rudolph, talking with all of the guys, that could give me, a light to throw me the ball so I could do the things that I have to do, being a receiver. It's just a blessing. I take it in every day, trying to earn a spot on the team. Preseason is definitely going to be, the trial for everybody, not just, the undrafted guys, but all of the guys that got, drafted, undrafted, signed, from other teams and stuff. So, just going into that, it's just a roller coaster, man, and I'm loving it. All the ups, all the downs, you got to love it all.
Yeah, that's something we've touched on before here is sometimes rostered players get stuck in that role of like, well, I'm playing and I don't have to fight for my position, but you do every single game. You're fighting for your position and they get comfortable. And so I think, being in mini camp and then transitioning to the camp, it really puts that in perspective for people. They're like, oh, I really am actually fighting for this position.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, especially like Tomlin even showcased that actually is the situation last year when Deontay, like he was struggling a bit and they took him out. He didn't play. He didn't start because he was struggling. And obviously, he came back and remedied those issues that he was facing, the drops and whatever it was. And he came back and he was like, he earned that spot back. And so the same goes for, every single person on that team. You have to go in with that mentality, like not just because you're a rookie, not just because you're undrafted, just because you want to be a part of this team. You're going in with the mentality that you're earning your role. And that's what I love about like OTAs and training camp is some of these guys who people aren't super familiar with get to go out and show people who the hell they are. And I love it. Like it gasses me up. I can't wait for training camp. I'm bummed that it's not going to be at St. Vincent again, We
Yeah.
were looking forward to
Is St.
that
Vincent
tradition.
where it's always been at? Like that's been
Yeah.
the tradition.
Mhm.
Up till last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been 2 consecutive years that it
Yeah.
hasn't been there.
Yes.
So are they
And
gonna have not fans, but are they gonna have like, observers and stuff there at the stadium?
Sounds like
so
it.
Sounds like,
it
but
sounds
no.
like they will.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but no
But-
pictures, no autographs. They have to be a minimum of 20 feet away. There's
Like following those COVID protocols, but
Yeah.
quite honestly, like if you ask
Even
me,
if everyone gets vaccinated and all.
yes.
yeah.
Oh
Yes.
man, that's crazy.
And it's just like the states are doing different stuff, right? Because the Cowboys are able to fly to California for training camp and have their normal
Yeah,
training
that's
camp.
Jerry Jones though, man. That's Jerry
No,
Jones,
right?
man.
He can get away with whatever.
Yeah,
Come
he
on,
gets
that's-
whatever.
that's-
Jerry
that's
gets what
the
Jerry
NFL.
wants. Yeah. No, you're right. That is a very good point.
Yeah. So like thinking about OTAs and preseason and how important it's going to be for honestly everybody to fight for their spot and looking at the Steelers' history of success at the wide receiver position. They just scout it super well. They have their finger on the pulse for good wide receivers. Even looking past the Antonio Brown to Mike Wallace, Santonio Holmes, Hines Ward, they've always had a really solid group of guys. What is it that you feel like you bring to the table for this team that is going to stand out in that room of really exceptional talent like Deontay Johnson and Juju and Chase Claypool and James Washington?
I think the first thing is my toughness. I think, being with the Steelers now, rocking that black and gold, watching my film and, everybody has known about me, I play the game with a lot of aggression. I play the game, a lot of people can't like take that in, and I know the NFL is the great place, for the tough players to be and to play at. So I think, toughness is the number one thing. I bring a lot of charisma to the team too. Like, I don't just, do things at wide out. I can go block a punt. I could go block a kick, a field goal. I can go, any type of throw or anything that we need in the game that I could do. And I'm definitely gonna, not do it just for me, but do it for Pittsburgh alone. Because I know that, watching last year, and not knowing where I was going to go and to be here now, I feel the pain for everybody that got hurt on the defense. I feel the pain for everybody that not to say about Deontay, but the drops that was happening, not just for him, but just for the wideouts period.
Everyone.
Everyone, the weakness in the O-line, as I first got there, I started to figure out that, that was something that, Ben wanted to get down was, the O-line. So, for me coming here as a rookie, I just want to, make my catches, make my plays, and not just uplift myself, but uplift Pittsburgh, uplift the O-line, the D-line, the coaches, everybody. I want to get everybody lit and to keep everything going because, when I'm out there, I love to play the game, and I play the game with my heart on my sleeve.
Love it.
Love that.
I love that.
It's the kind of player we need.
Yeah, we do.
What are you most looking forward to as part of this team? Like being one of the best receiving corps, if not the best receiving corps in the league. What's the most exciting thing about that?
You mean like being around them?
Yeah, like if you are a part of this team and being around these wide receivers who are just electric and consistently week in and week out just grinding, what's that feel like?
When I first got here and Juju and Chase, Deontay, Ray, James, when all of them got there, they took me in, as just a regular rookie. I never really walk around like a rookie. I kind of, I have a little swag to myself as well. So, they mess with me, about, how I run my routes and stuff like that. They really like me and it really took me in. So being with them, it's just, you with the guys, you with a lot of legends too. Chase Claypool was, his rookie year was phenomenal last year. Juju's been in the league. I think this is fifth year, I would say, going on the sixth, right?
Yeah.
This will be 5.
5. Yep.
This will be 5. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Going,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, the type of, you know, brand that Juju has on his name, and you know, Chase is bringing his as well. You know, James Washington, Ray McLeod, Deontay. You know, being around them, it's just every day we just playing ball, and I think that they like me, I like them, and you know, for preseason for me, you know, I just want to stick as long as I can on the team, and hopefully get the run routes with them guys in the season.
You make such a good point. Like, these guys have been able to establish like brands for themselves beyond just being another dude on the field, which I think is awesome. I think that you should have outlets outside of football because you're more than just a football player, right? Like, you should have other means of connecting to people or doing the things that you love, or, you know, whatever. Juju in particular caught a ton of shit last year for TikTok and whatever. We have zero
Yeah.
problem with that.
Yeah.
What was your, like, watching that as a player, knowing you were going to try to be making it to this league next year, and seeing how the media just like jumped all over him for something that he didn't deserve to be jumped on for? What was that like? Like, what was your impression of that?
Um, you know, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I honestly feel, you know, with how he's been a vet. You know, his first year as a rookie, he dominated more than, you know, any other rookie that year. His second year, he dominated. His third year, dominated. Fourth year, fifth year. So it's like, you know, for him, he has his own swag. You know, nobody can really critique him on, you know, what he does to get ready for a game. You know, he probably didn't do that when he first got in the league, but then he established himself. He got his swag up. He got his things, and everybody was, you know, talking about Juju, and that's what he wants to do. I think, you know, with football, you know, when they were losing and stuff, you know, it kind of felt like, and this is before, it kind of felt like to me that the whole team was kind of on him, you know, about that. I think that was the time when he danced on the Bills logo,
Yeah.
I think, and then he got hit one play, and then that was all on the news. You know, something like that. You know, it wasn't his fault that they lost. You know, number one, you know, he was doing his thing. He got hit that one play. It's football. I just feel like the team didn't have. It was a lot of emotions. You know, the defense was going down. People were falling on the defense. So it was a lot of high emotions. You know, 53 guys, you know, just, you know, bumping heads about how we lost or how we could have won the game. So for me, respectfully, you know, being his teammate, I don't really care. You know, he's a dog, and he's up and coming too. He's still in the making. He's still trying to be one of the top receivers, you know, coming out of the next generation too. So, you know, I don't have no problem with it. But hopefully I'm gonna dance with him too.
That's something we said. If TikTok is your motivation to lay someone out or to try to beat that team, you probably shouldn't be playing a competitive sport, because every time you step on
if you need TikTok to fire you up.
Yes, exactly. Like, oh my God, Juju danced on our logo. Let's go out there and kill him. Like, what? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Too. I would say too, for him dancing on there. If I was here last year, I would have kind of told him in the locker room, like, nah, you got to cut that out. Like, you can't be doing that. It's playoff time. You know, it's time, you know, it's demon time now. We got to, you know, start winning these games for real. You know, regular season, that's regular season. They was 11-0. They was doing their thing, you know, but it's just a fine line between, you know, when that TikTok stuff got to shut down and when you could put it back on.
And like when we started losing, like, that's
100%
time.
Right. Of course.
When you're winning, you can do whatever you want. Like, no one can say shit to you. You're winning. We were the only undefeated team in the league. Like, you can't say shit to us. And then you go and lose to the Bengals. No more dancing on logos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially the Bengals. You can't lose to them. They ain't happening.
Ever.
Exactly.
They ain't happening again.
Without Joe Burrow. Without Joe Burrow.
My dog on there too. My son Jamar Chase, he on there too. We're gonna be bumping heads.
For real.
Okay, so growing up, who was your favorite player?
Growing up, like receiver or just offense?
All time. Just all time favorite player.
All time. All time, like when I was younger, I used to watch Terrell Owens a lot. I used to just watch him because he was a demon on the field. Like, he was the type of dude where, like, you couldn't tell him nothing. and he knew that you couldn't tell him anything, and he was just, you know, subtracting everything that happened off the field. On the field, like, you couldn't really tell him nothing. Him, Michael Vick, and Odell Beckham. Those are like my top three that I still watch to this day.
Yeah.
Solid choices.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Terrell Owens had quite the personality. He still does, but he
still does.
Yeah,
I was at a
It's that
bar.
fire.
Wild.
It's that fire that
I was just gonna say
that he was using.
I was just going to say the three players that you named all play with like that fire and they love attention. But I love that. Like, I love a player like that. I was at a bar in Charlotte last week and like right in the back corner of the bar, just sitting at a table, minding his own business by himself. Tio, just chilling. It's like, what is he doing here in Charlotte at a random bar on a Tuesday?
Oh my gosh.
But yeah. He
Why
can do whatever
not, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
At
Like
this point,
whatever.
Go wherever, do whatever.
Yeah.
He's so fun. Oh my gosh. That's great choices. Top notch. So it's been kind of slow up until the last couple days in terms of news for what's going on. And we're just in that point of the off season where it's not a whole lot until there's a lot. And one of the things that happened a little over 24 hours ago is that the Steelers released David DeCastro and then in his place signed Trey Turner to a 1-year, $3 million deal. I can personally say I didn't see it coming, but when I did see the news, I was like, okay, cool. Like I wasn't really fazed by it. I felt like it was the right thing. How does everybody else feel?
It is. It's the right thing because DeCastro is he's going to have a third ankle surgery. He has some bone spurs in that ankle. And I mean, his health needs to be priority for him and for the team. So if you know that those things are not going to align, if he's not going to have his health and be able to play at 100% for a majority of the season, if he needs another surgery, who knows when he would even play. He needs to focus on his health, take a year, get healthy. And then if he wants to play after that, because I know he's contemplating retirement, if he wants to play after that, then he can play after that. He was one of the players who was very vocal about how it was very hard for him emotionally to play in empty stadiums last year. He said that really affected his play in addition to being injured a majority of the year. So, you know, the only thing that surprised me about DeCastro being cut is that it didn't happen earlier. I thought that was going to happen a while ago, but I do understand, you know, giving him the due diligence to see if he was going to be in shape mentally and physically to play the game. I'm pumped about Trey Turner. I hope that he's healthy and I think he's a dog. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Again, like shocked, but not surprised, if that even makes sense at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And people look at it and they're like, oh, Pro Bowl guard David DeCastro. And it's like, yes, he's been to the Pro Bowl, but he's not at Pro Bowl caliber where he's at right now. He's dealing with a lingering injury. And I think him and the Steelers probably had a very honest conversation about that.
Yeah. And
what's best for both of them. And let's take care of it and move on. So it sucks to see someone that played on your team for so long leave, but you also don't want to risk a worse injury.
It's the nature of the business. Like you just have to, number one, focus on your health. Number two, focus on your mental health. Like he said on several occasions, his heart wasn't in it. And then his body wasn't cooperating. So like, this is the most logical move. And a lot of people are like, shit is hitting the fan because fans are like, oh my God, our O-line, we have no vets, blah, 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 blah. I think I'm the total opposite. I'm excited. Like everyone wanted to overhaul the O-line.
Yeah.
We just did. So
everybody was bitching about the offensive line not 3 weeks ago and how terrible they were last year. And then as they like methodically got rid of guys and let guys go, it really felt like not only fans in Pittsburgh, but fans and reporters around the league were like, pointing to this David DeCastro release is like, see, they have no idea what they're doing. They're totally lost. It's a mess in Pittsburgh. And it's like, hold up. You yourself were critiquing the offensive line like 5 seconds ago. And now you're going to flip around and be like, they just lost a critical piece. There was no critical piece of our offensive line last year. They were all bad. It was all bad.
It was all bad
about the offensive
across
line
the board. And we overhauled everything, starting with Adrian Clem. The entire line is new, with the exception of Kevin Dotson and Zach Banner. You know, like we have our guys who were there, but they didn't play a majority of the season. So
or they're playing new positions. So
I
mean,
so,
for me being here, for the OTAs, it was one day, it was the end of practice, and you know, Ben came up and brought us all up, and he was like, you know, you guys were the reason. Everybody saying you guys were the reason why, you know, stuff happened last year, which is like, you know, me being a rookie, like, you know, football is football. I'm not gonna act like I don't know what I'm talking about or act like what's not going on. But you know, for me watching them last year, you know, it's a business. And you know, when I seen that, because I have the Steelers app on my phone, I have like anything that comes through, I know what's going on, regardless. Nobody tells me, and I'm not seeing that. I was just like wow, like, you know, they're really serious about, you know, what's going on in the old line room. And I know that DeCastro's been here, and I know he's, you know, a favorable player on the team. You know, everybody has feelings towards him. You know what I'm saying? And that's even before I was here. That's before I was even in college. So, you know, for him to go, you know, it is what it is. Next man up.
Right. I mean, it was a 9-year career, and he was great for us. Great.
He was here all
all-pro.
9 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
All 9 years, and he was all pro several seasons. He is a Pro Bowl caliber player.
Yeah.
Was a Pro Bowl caliber player, but that, like I said, it's the nature of the game. Like you have a window where you can be great, and he was great, and the window is shut now, and that's fine. But you know, everyone, let's like take deep breaths, fans. Like y'all don't need to like act like the sky is falling just because this happened.
Yeah,
we're gonna be
also curious, Isaiah. I don't know how many Steelers fans you follow on Twitter, but you will see during the season when things like this happen, they literally think it's the end of the world, and it's like the greatest thing to witness on social media, because you could be like, you know what? Someone tweeted the Steelers could cut their third string water boy, and some Steelers Twitter would like freak out. And I'm like, you're so right. Like people have no idea what's happening. So
Steelers have passionate fans. So the Steelers Twitter fans are going to be hilarious for you, and also Pittsburgh media. So just mental toughness. That's what it's about. I'm sure you've heard. I'm sure you're good with your mentality, but just ignore everything except us. Don't ignore us.
We're
no,
fine,
I'm not. I got them.
It can get really messy.
We already talked about St. Vincent, so I won't go into that again. I think it's bullshit that there are several teams who are allowed to go to their college campuses and have their usual training camp in the manner that they usually operate. And then for some reason in Pennsylvania, we're allowed to have full capacity at actual games, but training camp needs to be. I think that's weird, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
it definitely doesn't make sense. I feel like I would be more upset about it if the players were more upset about it, like if they kind of spoke out, because there are guys that like react to things when they have emotions and feelings about them. And this,
like Cole Beasley.
Yep. Oh man. Wow. It went there. Yeah. I don't even know if I would call those emotions and feelings. I don't know how I would classify his ramblings.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's entertaining for sure. I feel like I should be paying a subscription to get access to his
Twitter.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think that what's frustrating is the lack of explanation. Like what, okay.
Just
so
just roll with it. Like just let him go.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I don't know. It is what it is. I think that people are glad that they're opening it up to spectators at least. Whatever.
Yeah.
But enough of that. Let's move on to something else that is potentially even more controversial in our buy or sell segment, which is brought to you by Infinity Trades X. So if you're interested in trading on the market or your first time or looking to jump in and just learn, this is an excellent resource. Excellent resource. They are on Twitter at Infinity Trades X, and then their website is infinitytradesx.com. So I think we're all familiar with this song that's sort of relatively popular in the Pittsburgh area. I don't know if it's like as wide reaching as other, like into other places, but Renegade. So it's a big talking point among fans because of its use at Heinz Field for big moments, pump the crowd up. However, I've been seeing some comments on Twitter, which we all know is just full of logical ideas and conversations.
Only.
Yeah. Some people think that it's time to move on. So that is our buy or sell. Is it time to move on from Renegade? Isaiah, we'll start with you. What do you think about Renegade? Should they keep it or move on from it?
Are you familiar with it?
Yeah, I guess that's a better question.
I probably, if you play it, I probably like heard it before. I don't know the name of it though.
Okay, so here's the deal with Renegade. Actually, Jordan, you go.
Oh my gosh. So it's a song by the band Styx.
Like you have to play it.
Yeah, it's really difficult to describe because it starts out like basically a cappella, multiple harmony parts, and it's super slow and building, and they
play it before the game?
During the
play
game.
Okay,
like when you need like a big defensive stop or you need a big play, they
The
play
statement.
I'll search it up right now because I want to listen to it.
The fans go crazy.
I'm
We
gonna
sing it. We have towels, as you know.
Isaiah, after this, I'm going to send you an article that Bud Dupree wrote after he signed with the Titans.
So good.
And it's literally about Renegade and the importance and like when they play it and the feeling that it gives the players, particularly the defense. But you need to read it. It's like a really, really good piece, but it'll explain everything.
Yeah,
basically.
It helps bring it in.
Okay, that's
yeah. Sam, you go.
I'm buying Renegade all day long. I love when I'm at the stadium because it doesn't happen every game that you go. Like there are games that you go to and they don't play it at all. And you're just like, oh, I want to do Renegade. So I love it. And it does pump up the players.
They don't overkill it. Like I getting rid of Renegade and trading it in for something else is the most asinine idea I think I've ever heard in my life. I would never do that. I am selling, moving on from Renegade. That's never happening. Like
a Renegade towel.
It's tradition. It's right. It's tradition. Like you don't get rid of traditions. I don't care how long you've been doing it. You know, it still is like meaningful. And I think that would be stupid to get rid of it. I think it would take something away from those moments. And what are we going to play? Like what song would you replace Renegade with?
Nothing. If you were going to take it away, then you would have to just be done with playing any song, probably. I think the whole controversy is coming from a place of not so much wanting to get rid of the song itself, but looking at the results of the last few seasons and being like, it doesn't
like
even
Renegade's
work.
not working.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that a song was responsible for the Steelers' record.
Right.
It's like people who think like if I wear this jersey that I wore the 11 games that we won, then we should win the 12th game. You know,
that's me.
That superstition, right? Yeah. I know. And Sam kind of.
Oh, 100% me.
Both of you.
I think you need to keep Renegade. Like it
100%.
There's no reason to get rid of it. I think that sometimes you do have to like bury traditions and leave them in the past, but I don't think this is one of those times. I think that Renegade needs to stick, especially coming into a season.
No, they can't get rid of this.
Right? It's good. It's good.
Good.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that gotta stay. I'm getting lit to that.
Wait until
Exactly.
you hear it and with the fans and
At
That's
Heinz
great.
Field.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
it's
Mm-mm.
incredible.
There's nothing like it.
Defense or not, that gotta stay.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
I love
epic.
it.
Yeah, and with a full stadium too. Like, woo.
Oh my God. The feel, it gives me chills.
Yeah, nothing like it.
I can't
Nothing
wait.
like it. Oh my God. And I mean, we're gonna be at games this season. Gonna be full capacity this season. It's gonna be a wild
Yeah.
ride. It's gonna be so cool.
Can't
We
wait.
can't wait. Yeah, Isaiah, thank you so much for
Yeah, this is
coming on and talking
awesome.
with us. Mhm.
We appreciate your time so much. We know you're
Mhm.
busy at home. So
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate y'all time as well.
yeah, it was
absolutely. Thank
awesome.
you.
And good luck in training camp. I
Yeah.
know you'll kill it. So we'll be rooting for you for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then as always, thank you, Steeler Nation, for joining us as well.
Yeah, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Yinzhers and on Instagram at Yinzhers Official.
Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your podcast, and we'll see you next week for another